What's more American than a root beer float? It's a classic, a sweet throwback to a simple summer days. But in the tiny town of Freetown, Indiana, this innocent treat became the final ingredient in a sinister plot. A man's death was written off as natural, but a clumsy burglary a year later would unravel a shocking conspiracy fueled by greed, betrayal, and thousands of chilling text messages. A wife and her daughter didn't just plan a murder, they served it in a frosty mug with a smile. Just 5 days before Christmas, on December 20th, 2022, Harold Peanut Allen died at his home. For months, the 52-year-old had been battling a painful and mysterious stomach illness that sent him to the emergency room again and again. Doctors were stumped, and they ultimately chalked his death up to cardiac issues. It was a tragedy for the small community, but no one thought it was suspicious. No one, especially not the police, suspected his wife for just over a year. Marcia Allen was involved. As far as anyone was concerned, the case was closed. For 9 months, the story was over. Then on September 19th, 2023, a burglary at Marcia Allen's house blew the thing wide open. Marcia, who had just set up security cameras, watched the footage and instantly knew one of the intruders. It was Stephen White, her own daughter, Ashley Jones' best friend. She immediately reported him to the police, having absolutely no idea that she was about to set off a chain reaction that would expose her own terrible secrets. It didn't take long for investigators to find Stephen White, and he quickly confessed to the break-in. But then he dropped a bombshell that no one saw coming. He didn't just admit to the burglary. He told police it was Ashley's idea. And then he called Marcia Allen a murderer. White claimed Marcia had killed her husband by serving him a root beer float laced with poison. He even knew the sickening details, telling officers it came complete with whipped cream and sprinkles. To prove he wasn't making it all up, White led police to the stolen item, cementing his credibility and turning a simple burglary into a full-blown murder investigation. But White's most important tip was about Marcia's phone. He told investigators to look at the text messages between her and her daughter, Ashley. What they found was horrifying. A digital diary of a murder spelled out in nearly 7,000 texts in 3 months before Harold died. The messages showed a cold, calculated plot to kill him. The mother-daughter duo discussed ordering exotic poisons online from sites like eBay, including toxic pong seeds. The texts are so casual it's chilling. In one, Ashley messaged Marcia, "The mail is here," a reference to the delivery of ethylene glycol, a key ingredient in antifreeze. Marcia replied with a heart emoji. As their attempts failed, Marcia's frustration grew, texting, "I am irritated and can't sleep peacefully. I need this to be over." Finally, on December 19th, a text from Marcia sealed Harold's fate. He's all in for root beer floats. Harold died the very next day. Later, toxicology tests confirmed the presence of ethylene glycol in his system, a sweet, odorless, and colorless poison, perfectly masked in a dessert. The motive was just as sickening clear. Marcia had already cashed in on Harold's $120,000 life insurance policy. On October 15th of 2023, armed with thousands of texts and proof of the poison delivery, police confronted Marcia Allen. She denied everything and made a fatal error. She agreed to a forensic download of her phone. Just hours after police left, Marcia died by taking her life, and she was never formally charged. 3 days later, her daughter Ashley Jones was arrested and charged with murder and conspiracy. But Ashley wasn't done. While awaiting trial, investigators discovered she had allegedly created a kill list from her jail cell. The list targeted witnesses who knew about the plot, and at the very top was the name of her best friend, Stephen White. Before we get to the final verdict, I have to ask, what's the most shocking part of this conspiracy to y'all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below respectfully. And if you find these kinds of twisted cases compelling, make sure you subscribe for more. And thank you all for watching. With Marcia gone, all eyes turned to her co-conspirator. In August of 2025, Ashley Jones took a plea deal, pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder. A judge sentenced her to 50 years in prison. And Stephen White, the burglar whose confession blew the case open, was sentenced to 3.5 years for his role in the break-in. In the end, a classic American treat became the final weapon in a cold-blooded plot for money. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the deadliest poison is hidden behind the sweetest smile.